Hello folks, welcome to episode 15 of GingerLion's modded Minecraft Let's Play on the Agrarian Skies mod pack. This mod pack is available on the FTB launcher. So, last time we built ourselves this really cool reactor, which is ticking along just fine. It spends a lot of its time on, but it spends some of it off. You'll notice there shuts off for just a little bit. That's fine. It's ticking along. It's producing a whole bunch of power. I also spent a little time between episodes making a couple more farms over here because I was running out of the things that we were using to make biofuel out of. So I made a couple more farms out here that'll produce, hopefully, some of that stuff. But in the process, I realized that my auto crafting system is slowed down to a crawl. And that doesn't make me happy because, well, that's why I have it, is for speed and efficiency. Like, for example, a couple minutes ago, I asked for 10 of these advanced processor assemblies because I intended to go manually drop them in the furnace myself. But they're not here. The whole nothing's going on, and I don't know why. And I think it's because my assembler is bogged down. So, I am going to collect together the things that I need to start this rolling, and I'll be back once I'm ready to begin a little bit of surgery on the heart of my assembly system, my ME assembler. Okay, folks, I'm pretty sure that I now have the exact ingredients that I need in my hand to finish this build. So, now I'm going to do a thing that always seems scary every time I do it, but it's just fine. What we do is we remove these parts of the wall and those heat vents. We collect them up. Now, containment wall and heat vent. We just extend them out. Like so. Oops, I keep forgetting. You need to remove these pieces as well. Apparently there's water in there. That's fine. It won't hurt the processor, as weird as that seems. Now I have a cable here that was connected to the processor, but since the multi-block broke, it's not connected to anything. And just to keep this from being so annoying, I'm going to go ahead and put heat vent there. Now, I've got an escape route right here, so let's go ahead and close up everything that I can. Now, there's 4. Perfect. Here's 1. Perfect. It looks like I made the right amount of those. And now let's put in some more processors. And fill in the necessary pieces. The multi-block reforms, and it still has all of its recipes in it. So, now we can come up here, and I don't really need them now, but go ahead and craft processors. I've got 13 and 28. I'm more likely to use these, so let's craft 20 of them. And now, you'll notice it made the basic processor assembly and is getting ready to move forward. So, it looks like I have cleared the backlog on this system by expanding my assembler, which is wonderful because even though it uses a little bit more power to have that many more processors online, it means that I don't need to worry about my assembler being slow when I decide that I want something. So, what is it that I want to do next? Well, I think it's time for us to do a little bit of quest completion. So, let me finish putting this all back together, and I'll be right back. So, I've emptied my inventory so that I can do these necessary quests. So, let's see what's new in the Learning to Sky block. Since our update, it looks like they've added the Librarian quest, which involves Making a bookbinder. During the course of playing, you're going to end up with a lot of books that guide you. Any book in a bookbinder can be accessed by right-clicking it from inside the GUI. So let's see, what's a bookbinder? Recipe-wise. 2 paper and 2 string. I can't think of much easier. Bookbinder. Made. And claimed my quarter heart reward. I need to make a pneumatic servo. I've made 1,000 of them, but hey look, silver, bronze, invar, aluminum. I think I'll use the aluminum recipe. Claiming my reward. And let's see what's in this quest bag. What quality is it? It's basic. Not so good reward. I got myself a cake named Lie. Well, that's fine. Nothing completely wrong with that. Let's go ahead and get all of my heart pieces out here. And gain myself another heart. Nice. 18 remaining. Now, it looks like I could deal with blazes. Or let's see what I've got in Go with the Flow. Well, fueling the void, I need 1,600 buckets of a substance that I have 3,000 buckets of. So, let me do that quest. I would like a drum. I have an empty drum. Good. Fluid export bus. Fluid duct. The QDS itself. And a servo. So, let me show you how the easiest way that I know of to handle the fact... Now, there was an issue. When the last time I went and submitted something directly to the QDS using the ME system, there was only a certain amount of it that got acknowledged as actually coming out. And that doesn't make me happy, because, quite frankly, I work very hard on the items that we're going to use here. There's absolutely no reason for me to waste them, per se, by having the QDS not recognize my efforts and contributions. So, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to select this task and bind this QDS to it. Fueling the void. Done. Wonderful. Now, I wish to put on top of that one fluid duct with a drum. And then, I'm going to take a fluid export bus and point it at the drum. Now, I thought I had a bucket of biofuel. I do. And I notice that there's some places here that need lighting. And I'm not a fan of leaving things unlit that need lighting. There. That was easy. Now, we connect to the fluid output bus, like so, and we set it to output biofuel. And because I'm going to use a lot of it, I'm going to have it do it this way. It doesn't look like that worked. So, let me move it. I've noticed that these drums seem to be kind of particular about exactly how they're approached. It's very possible that it will only accept fluids from the top or bottom. Let's try that again. That outputted biofuel just like you would want it to. And like I said, I wish to move that up to filling the drum as quickly as it can. Now, I'm going to switch this to output and see if that operates at all. Have I said any? No. And thus the servo. And we can tell it to ignore redstone. So now, if I go and look, biofuel is pouring into the QDS. There's only one issue. I don't want it to keep pouring in once I've finished. So I'm going to keep a careful eye on this as we move on to some other quests. Let's see, what else can I make? Fluid energy, destabilized redstone. I would need 50 buckets of this, and I would get some nether redstone ore. There's zero problems with that either. Let me see. That's 6%. I can walk away from it for just a little bit while it's running at 6%. So, I am going to get a is it the magma crucible? No. Come on. I have it right up here. Not the fluid transposer and the I've forgotten the name of that device. I can see it from here. I can't remember its name. I know that I thought I had another magma crucible somewhere. Nope, I do not. Are they difficult to make? They require some nether brick. Do I have that? I have that. Well then, they should be basically effortless to make. Ah, I need one of these, and thus one of these, and now I can make it. That's because it uses up so much power in its operation. Where are we at? 20%. Easy. Now, I would like to take this and connect it to a power line. And get myself a fluid import bus. I have enough fluid storage in my system that I can handle another fluid being produced for a little while. So, I really only produce myself one. That's not right. There we go. If I put that, where would I like to put that? Right over here. It's only going to be a temporary installation. Now this is a very power-hungry device. When it operates at maximum, it uses 400 RF a tick. So I'm not going to use this casually, but I would like it to output to the right, which is what it's set to do by default, and it's allowed to import from the top. So I'm going to get a hopper, 33%. Because I would like to control, very carefully, by hand, the amount of redstone that gets put into this. Because my quest calls for 50 buckets and redstone, when melted, produces, where are you? Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. Of course it doesn't show me. Ah, it produces 100 millibuckets. So I need 500 redstone. Which means, let's see, 500 divided by 64. Well, more than I can fit in a hopper, that's for sure. So there's 6 stacks of redstone. That will get me started. Okay, folks. So I'm going to disappear for just a little bit, and I'll be right back once I'm a little bit closer to completing these 2 quests. Okay, I'm a little closer, folks. So I calculated that the correct answer was 7 stacks and 50, since I'd already put in 5. I put in another stack, and there's now 50 left over. And I also did a little math over here and realized that when this reaches about 85%, what's in this barrel, this drum, should be enough to finish the quest off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until this ticks over 85%, and then I'm going to shut off the export bus up there and see if I'm correct. 83, 2 more percent to go. 84. And 85. So let's shut this bus off by switching just that and emptying that out. And this drum should continue emptying into the QDS. And we'll see if I was correct. That drum has 210 buckets left remaining in it. And let's see what the quest has to say. We're in the 200 neighborhood, that's for sure. So, let me come over here, see how this is progressing. We're in good shape. It's just drawing a lot of power, but again, I have this huge reactor on board here that is producing power, and it's sitting at 95.9. It just kicked over 60% and shut down, and then started back up again. So, we're doing just fine on that. Also, of note, I wanted to let you guys know that between episodes I also set up the cyanite reprocessor. And basically what this does is if you feed it water and power, and you feed it the cyanite, which is the spent fuel from there, you get back plutonium, which can be put back in the reactor and will produce half as many cyanite ingots when it's done. So theoretically you can continue reprocessing for quite a while, get diminishing returns, but nonetheless it's a backup fuel if you run out of yellorium ingots. So we're at 99%, and that barrel's down to 25 left. I'm wasting the remaining, but that's fine. I have lots of biofuel, and quite frankly I'd like to switch this over to, now that it's empty, and that I've completed this quest, biofuel, rewards, pick a bag, claim reward. 20, nice, and an epic bag. Let's see what's in this epic bag. 1.3 chance a potion flask with 8 swigs of instant health 4. Nice. That's a pretty wonderful thing. I'm going to go ahead and toss it in my system. And now, I would like a bucket. I do have 1 empty bucket. Good. 13 in this case. And I'm going to come in here and request a bucket of destabilized redstone. This allows me to come out to this fluid export bus and tell it that nope, almost made a big mistake there. First, what I want to do is select this task and bind it to that QDS. There, now I'm not wasting destabilized redstone. Now, toss that in, the barrel becomes a barrel of destabilized redstone, and the QDS immediately begins accepting redstone. So, We're nearly done on this end. And just to be neat and clean about it, I am going to take this bucket and empty it into the system. That way I don't have a spare bucket of this sitting around. I might as well do the same thing with the biofuel. And are there any other buckets that I really want to do that with? Yeah, witch water. I don't really need that right now. There. Cleaned that up. Let's go see how close we are. That claims it's completed. This is at 41%, and I'm going to speed it up by changing the output rate. There we go. That should be the rest of the destabilized redstone. And if I did my math right, we will get exactly 100%. Done. Beautiful. So, do I want nether redstone ore? Well, let me find out. What are the uses of nether redstone ore? I can pulverize it to get 24 redstone and some netherrack. Or I can make some redstone ore out of it, which I can smelt for 6 and some cinnabar. I have wanted cinnabar in the past. Why did I want cinnabar? It'll allow me to more carefully reprocess materials, but that's fine. At the moment I have lots of materials. So, other than processing, ores that I don't have, it's basically worthless to me. So, I think that I'm going to take a chance on the quest bag. This is a epic bag, and it has a Thaumium Boss Silverwood Wand and a Wand Focus of Equal Trade. If you've never played with, and it's completely full. Oh, wow. If you have never played with Thaumcraft, then this is a most wonderful, I can't remember exactly how to, at the moment, F? Yes, there we go. Now those are bound together. I can't lose either of them. And I'm going to go put this chest over here full of oddities. That is a most wonderful quest reward. Definitely better than a bunch of redstone. Let's see what my next choices are. Squeezing seeds? No, thank you. I'm using seeds in other places. I'm going to have to figure out how to get gelid chirothium. No clue at the moment. Okay. I think for the moment I could probably do that, but I'm not going to. And let's just open up for the hoarding and see if there's anything in here that I think I can get away with. Not glass, not endstone. Soul sand. 10,000 soul sand. I only have 96 of it at the moment, so not likely. Could make some double compressed sand. Sure. What's my sand looking like? 8,000. So, let's grab some sand and teach my system how to make it. Not that I'm going to use it often, mind you, but what the heck, right? So there's some compressed sand in code, and double compressed sand in code. Let's put those two in the system. Let's see if it can make me. Sorry, yeah. I'd like to actually just see it process. And I'd like 100 of these, please. there we are. These are the wonders of having an extremely powerful AE auto-assembler system. I didn't have to go through any of those clicks. I just asked, and it made it for me. I really do love that. There's 100 of those, and I can turn in this quest. Manual submit. Oh. It only... Oh. Because I only took that many out. Manual submit. Claim a reward bag. Claim reward. 2 more hearts. Up to 23. A good and a legendary bag. And a cyclic assembler that I'm not going to use. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to quibble. Not so good reward. I got myself some grass, some ferns, some dead bushes, some cobwebs. The flowers are actually pretty useful to me because they're going to allow me to make dye, but for the moment, that's not the most wonderful reward. I'll hold it in my inventory for the moment and see what's in this bag. Ah, Zomg. I just got myself 16 aura nodes, another Thaumium Boss Silverwood wand, some lamps of growth and fertility, the equal trade focus, silver. This is possibly the best reward I have seen yet in the entire game, especially because I already have some of these clusters set aside, which will allow me to improve and increase my research. Great wood saplings, silver wood saplings, another Thaumium Bossed wand, which is amazing, but the single most amazing thing here is this. When you're playing Thaumcraft and you need to recharge your wands, what you need to do is go find yourself an aura node. The problem is on this map, the aura nodes are in one of 2 places. They're either randomly scattered about up here by creation, and I have no clue where, and they're almost invisible, or down near levels 9 and 10 down near the void. And I can go down there, and I will go down there, but being able to place 16 nodes where I want them, when I want them, I'm flabbergasted. Thank you, Jaded Cat. That is an amazing crest reward. Let's see. Do I have 100,000 oak wood? I know that I don't. How about 1,000 pistons? If I'm going to make 1,000 pistons, I'm going to need some planks first. So, I'm going to disappear for just a little bit, folks, while I use my saw over here to convert a whole bunch of planks into, wood into planks so that I can make myself those pistons, and I'll be back in just a little bit. As usual, I'm kind of multitasking here, so I just had my system make 3 triple compressed cobblestone, which I'm going to toss in the smelter as soon as the aluminum I have in here is done. And I'm going to use that to make seared stone, because there's a quest here for 100 seared stone, and 3 triple compressed cobblestone will do the job. So I'm just waiting for this aluminum to pour out. And it's entirely possible that I'll have to destroy some aluminum to make this quest happen quickly, but quite frankly, I have so much aluminum right now. In fact, how much aluminum do you have? If I come over here and look, aluminum is now second only to ferrous and iron in my, well, okay. It's up above silver, and it's in the 4,000 neighborhood. If I lose 8 ingots of aluminum here, it's not going to bother me. So, what am I going to do? Toss these 3 in. I have no idea how long they're going to take to smelt. By the progress bar, it looks like it's going to be a while. And hey, look, by blind luck, I happen to have exactly emptied the crucible. Perfect. Time to go add this aluminum to my network. Now, it's possible I'll need this again sometime soon, and for the moment, it's using no power, so I'll just let it sit there. I'm still using this sawmill down here. Once I've finished all of these rubber wood, then I will have enough planks to get to work on my piston making. I'm correct, my system knows how to make pistons. Yeah, it sure does. So, that'll be relatively easy. This stone is almost melted. So really all that's going to do is pour into here. That's going to make stones. They're going to end up in here. So no point in you watching that. I'll be back once there's something interesting to see. So while I was sitting around, I was staring at a couple other quests, but I just wanted to point something out to you. Actually, I could probably do quadruple dirt right now, but I'd been staring at this, even more storage, and that'd be a really nice thing to make. But I went in and checked the recipe, and it turns out that it will take twice as many diamonds as I have, almost exactly, just to make it, and then the quest turns it in and doesn't give it back to me. It's a consume. So I think I'm going to hold off on that one until I have several hundred more diamonds. So anyway, I think it's time for me to think about the dirt. I want the sawmill. I'm getting closer, folks. So let's do the dirt quest, because I think I have a lot of dirt in my system right now. So let's see. 1 quadruple compressed dirt. 100 quadruple compressed dirt. So one, double, triple, quadruple is 6,000. And I need 100, so that's 600,000 dirt. I know I don't have anything near 600,000 dirt. I mean, I have 2,000, but that's okay. At least these recipes are around when the time comes for me to make such insanities. Clearly, I gotta get working on that dirt gen. So let's see, how's this going? We're down to... Let's see how many of those it took to actually... Blacksmith blocks, is that it? Seared stone. Manual submit. I need 13 more. That's fine. I've already got 3. So when that fills up with 10 more, I'll be able to submit that quest. Sometimes I just lose track of quests for a while, and then it's really nice to actually come back and be able to slap down a dozen quests at a time. And I'll tell you, this has completely changed my outlook on what my next couple episodes are going to be. This Lamp of Growth, if once I can get the capability of actually utilizing this Lamp of Growth, I'm going to use it to boost some of these farms over here, probably my seed production, so that I can move on to the seed production quest. So, anyway... There's 9, 10, I need 3 more. And I think I'm moderately close, so let me start. Now, first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at my piston recipe, wherever it is. There it is, and make sure that it's working with aluminum, because that's what I want. And make sure, what else is it using? Jungle wood planks, cobblestone, aluminum, redstone. Good. And let me check the quest. For pushing it, I require 1,000 pistons, please. Craft 1,000. Begin. Wow, is that cooking away really quickly. Again, I have a pretty powerful processor down there doing the work, and it's probably just ran up against the limit of, I don't know, for example, it may have run out of planks, which is why I've been manually pushing so many planks through this system. Though, that looked like more of a limit than I was expecting. But, anyway, let's go over here and submit this quest while my system ticks away at making pistons. No, not dirt collection. Blacksmith box. Manual submit. That. This is a full heart. Good. 24 remaining. And this is an epic quest bag. So I got flight, slash potion of harming, flight, 2 splash potions of harming, instant damage 2 for 5 minutes, weakness 2 for 5 minutes. Wow, that I'll use on a boss somewhere. And 2 flight 8-minute potions, which I'm probably going to use when it comes time for me to fly down below and start finding aura nodes. Okay, so that was a nice hand in. Yep, the sawmill is completely full. That indicates that the processing system over here is shoving rubber wood in an attempt to get more planks for pistons. That means that's where I hit my bottleneck. So, I'm going to toss these seared stone in here and take a look at what other quests I might have available. I could theoretically do this iceberg quest relatively easily. I'm not so interested right now. Let's see. Sands of Time completed. Cobble Gen. There's no way that I'm going to have 40 million cobble. I don't have 100,000 wood. I could probably... Well, there's 20,000 sand. I think I've got a lot of sand, but I don't think I have 20,000 sand. And I could plant some slime trees and get that, but no. Anything else? Ooh. I've already made a pressure, and I'm perfectly happy to make one more, even though that's going to use up some of my pistons. I can make more. That will allow me to complete that quest. 200 firm tofu and 200 soy milk. Child's play. Another heart. And a greater quest reward bag. I'm really not a fan of these jerkies. They're basically useless to me. So, and for the moment, I think I am actually going to consider putting this presser down. I'm going to put it down without attaching it to anything, because, well, quite frankly, I have processed all the soy that I've got. That's kind of nice. Now, I'm not going to make 10,000 bread right now. I haven't made any juices at all. I'm not going to make 100 hearty breakfasts. I don't have 10,000 tomatoes. I could probably make the spaghetti and meatballs, but I'm not ready yet. I guess the only one that I could theoretically put some time into is the leafy fish sandwich, which I'm going to cheat just a little bit on making. So, why don't I work on submitting that one while my system continues to make pistons for me. Clear this out. So this is a fish sandwich and lettuce. Easy and coated. What's the recipe for the fish sandwich itself? Ah, bread, mayo. I don't have mayo yet. I'm going to put that in there, but I'm going to go grab myself some tofu in replacement for fish. That is a chicken sandwich, encoded. My system already knows how to make bread and firm tofu. What's the recipe for mayo? Egg or tofu in a juicer. That's about as easy a quest chain as I've seen in Pam's Harvest Craft. And I have 1,000 lettuce, and I have everything else that I need. I think I even have 1,000 eggs. Let me come over here and check. I'm going to just move all of my eggs. Oh, yeah, that's right. And then I remember that I did that with tofu. Well, that's fine. Moving eggs over is nothing bad. Always got to keep the gate closed, otherwise the animals get out. Now, because my system is currently delayed in making pistons, let's see where it's at. It's getting closer, but I would like 1,000 of these. Let me make sure. Leafy fish sandwiches. 1,000, yes. So, I strongly recommend to anyone who's playing this quest line, seriously look into all of the things that are necessary to use tofu, to make tofu, to put in soybeans, rather than dealing with animal parts. You don't need milk for cheese. You don't need, obviously, eggs for mayo. You don't need meat of any kind. You don't need to spend a lot of time fishing. So, I think it's a great thing. I'm going to go ahead and boost the system up by telling it to produce a whole bunch of dough, which it can then I can then manually toss into a furnace. So let me take a look at those pistons. 965. Let me grab another stack of rubber wood. Bring it over here. Okay, folks. Well, I'll be right back. I'm waiting for these pistons to process. So the two pistons that I used to make the tofu presser, they're the only two that were short. So, making those two, easy, and let's go submit that quest. That was back in for the hoarding, pushing it, picked, manual submit, claim reward. These are valid good hearts, 27, and this is a epic quest reward bag. Morvi Decor reward. That's amusing. Stained glasses of a whole array of colors. That's fine. I have zero use for them, but they're awesome. Let's see if there are any unusual uses that I didn't think of for any of these. Nope, not a bit. So, into my system. If I ever need stained glass, I know where to get them. Wow. That wasn't as amazing as the last thing that I submitted, but it's still cool. Okay, so now, what I have in terms of quests going on, right now I have dough being fed into these furnaces to make bread for my leafy fish sandwiches. They're not made a single one yet. I wonder if the recipes that I input are missing something. Okay, leafy fish. Somehow I made a chicken sandwich instead of a fish sandwich. Clear. Let's see. Got it. So the fish sandwich claims that it will accept tofu in here. Interesting. Very interesting. So, what happens when I try to make it? Bing, bang, bang. Am I missing? Mayo. Let's go ahead and make mayo. That makes a chicken sandwich, despite the fact that the fish sandwich recipe lists firm tofu as an acceptable output choice. Looks like I'm going to have to go fishing after all, folks. Well, I'm going to clear out that recipe and clear out this recipe. And that's a little sad and disappointing. So I'm making a whole bunch of bread for no good reason. That's fine. Let me go clear that out of my... light gray stained glass, didn't put it in. Clear that out of the assembler buffer. Bink. All these look good. There's nothing weird and unusual in my collection. Good. Now, let's take a look at the rest of the quests. Let's see what there is. I could start on the You're a Wizard, Steve quests, for sure. I just started making myself 1,000 bread, but that's not toast. So, I think that's that for the moment. Let me go check on something, and I'll be right back. Well, I really pretty strongly want to get started, especially with the advantages I was just granted. I really want to get started on the Thaumcraft research. These aura nodes and all these wands and whatnot, I am in amazingly good shape. However, I am at the 45-minute mark for this episode, so I think that rather than... Oop, that wasn't what I wanted. Rather than get started on it this episode and have to cut it short, that I am going to wait for the next episode to get started on that. So, I hope you've enjoyed my episode of turning things in, and I will see you guys next time.